Hello, welcome to my now. This is Zeus, Commander Zeus on planet ship Earth, traveling through a sea of space, traveling at 945 miles per second. While we're doing a little rotation around the Earth at 745 miles per second, we're doing some driving, baby. And today is the day of your amazing good fortune. I was thinking to myself, what is truth? Have you considered truth? Man, it's got to be a perceptive truth because no two pair of eyes see things the same way because the perception is different in every person. What does that mean? Well, how do you come to a conglomerate choice when everything is Babel? I don't know if you've looked in the Bible, but it says God put Babel over the earth in order to confound the speech of others. Now, a lot of us turn that and say, well, we got different languages, right? But it goes a little bit further than that. It's even in the way of communication one to another, because if it's on a perceptive view, meaning feeling state, which everything is a feeling state, my perception and your perception is totally different. So now Babel falls into even the same language because no two eyes see things the same way. Wow, that's really deep, isn't it? And if you really consider the atoms that are in the field, which are on a observer frequency, meaning that as the observer sees it to be and believes it to be, so too it becomes. And if two eyes see things differently, then I'm going to pull out of that field a different viewpoint. What does that mean? Well, I mean, you could have a accident and have 30 witnesses to the accident and everybody's account is different. There's no two account that is exactly the same. This is Babel, friends. If you've got one occurrence and you got 30 different viewpoints, then that viewpoint from 30 different people is on a Babel basis, meaning that they're not the same. And so communication between the two is not the same. Nobody feels the way you feel. Nobody sees things the same way you feel. That thumbprint you got, no two people on the planet Earth has ever had the same God print. This is your God print on the end of your thumb, fingers. No two people have the exact same frequency. No two people have the same thumbprint or the eye print or the cellular makeup. No two people have the exact same. You got, well, I got a Gangler Guffers or whatever it is. They're not the same. Even identical twins are not the same. Even identical twins are not the same. Different thumbprint. So, what does that mean? It's a choice. You know, every day and every way you get better, better, and better. And this is just something to think about, you know, to become better. If you're stuck in a frequency that thinks things can't get better, guess what? It's not going to get better for you. Every day and every way, I have to make a choice. What is my choice? To love, to be the highest version of self, regardless of what goes on in my future, regardless of what goes on now. By taking observance off of the now, because attention goes where energy, or energy goes where attention flows. So whatever I'm placing my attention onto, whether it's good or bad, it's going to show itself to me in the same frequency, and whatever I think about will enter into that frequency. I found that out the other day. I was in a bad state, and so I brought up a thought in my mind of something that was really good. But for some reason, directionally, I was going still in the same flow. So what I did was I turned a great memory into a shit memory. Why? Because my mind was flowing in a negative manner. So, in order to change my thought process, I have to change the way I do things, especially in the morning time. Morning time, well, I don't even say morning because I don't believe there's a difference between morning and morning. Morning and morning, it's the same fucking thing. Subconsciously, it's like, with the Ten Commandments. Blew me away when I actually started putting definitions to the words that I resonate with, right? Words that I was taught. Straightforward English, okay? Just straightforward. Thou means you. Thou means you. Shout means yes. Not means no. So the very beginning of the Ten Commandments is you, yes, no, lie. You, yes, no, kill. You, yes, no, commit adultery. You, yes, no, steal. You, yes, no, not honor mother and father. What type of bullshit is that? And I'm being straightforward. It is actual babble. That is babble in the subconscious brain, which is 200 million times smarter than the conscious brain. Sees it, understands it, and says, what the fuck is the last word? Lie, steal, commit adultery, kill, dishonor mother and father, not honor God, right? And so what happens is my life in this program that is being installed into me, because I was told I was supposed to memorize the Ten Commandments. Memorize these Ten Commandments. Right? So I did. Thou shalt not. You, yes, no. Right? So subconscious seeing you, yes, no. I'm seeing thou shalt not. Very pretty. It's pretty words. It's pretty language. And it's acceptable to me because I was told it was acceptable. But the subconscious brain says, what's the last word? And so then I install through memorization, because there's two states of being. When we were children, from 0 to 8, we were in what's called theta. This is just observation mode in order to download for the child to live in this world, right? And so in this theta style, all you had to do was observe and it became straight into you, and this is you. So you observe mom and dad, you observe brothers and sisters, you observed other people, and you said, this is the way I'm supposed to be. But in truth, some of it wasn't correct. And so I pulled with me some negatives. Now, after 8 years of age, repetition is the style in order to install programs. And when you do something over and over and over again, you get better at it in whichever manner, right? So, repetitiously, I installed this by memorization over and over and over again to install a hard-driven program that had been installed into my subconscious brain prior to my entering into this illusion. And this world is an illusion. It's all atoms, and atoms are nothing but energy that are in a probable state of becoming that which the observer deems it to be. It's kind of amazing when you really think about it, because it's not what I was taught when I was a child. It's not what I was taught when I was older. I was taught that you work your way into whatever you want to do. You just bust ass. Don't worry about how you feel. Why? Because the Ten Commandments cut your fucking head off, right? How did it cut my head off? How did the Ten Commandments cut my head off? Well, I installed a neurological program: lie, steal, kill, commit adultery, dishonor mother and father, lust after other people's stuff. These are the things that were installed into the hard drive of my subconscious brain. And whenever I found myself in a thinking mode, meaning that something happened in my world that said, I've got to fix this. And so the brain can do two things at once, but one is autopilot and one is conscious, right? Autopilot. Autopilot is absolutely amazing because you can do anything. Man, you can drive your car and think about other things and get to where you're at, and you're like, wow, I don't even remember driving home because I was on a conversation with somebody that was so intense, I just focused on that. But the autopilot in my body got me to where I was needing to go. In fact, it probably got me there safer because the autopilot is your subconscious brain, and the subconscious brain is 200 million times smarter. You drove probably better. It's not until you're consciously aware and then you think, I'm gonna fuck up, right? Which was when you first started driving. I started driving with a stick in Seattle, dude, and there's hills all over the place. Going up a hill in a stick and just learning how to drive a stick, that is a challenge because you don't want to roll backwards into somebody when they pull up behind you. I had many restarts. Now, with that being the case, there we're in this program. It's called schizophrenia, okay? A form of schizophrenia. And what happens is your conscious mind is now taken over with the thoughts of how do I fix the problems that I set up for myself? How do I fix this? And then the autopilot is running programs. Now, if we got the program lie, steal, kill, right? When I get put into a conscious state of worry, I got to think about it. I go straight into that program and I lie, or I steal, or I kill. Killing is really the easiest one to do. I mean, we kill flies all the time. We kill horses, we kill cows, we eat them up. You know, it's kind of funny. A meat eater will say, you know, it's bad to hurt puppies. But it's good to kill a lamb so I can eat it up, right? Or it's good to, or it's bad to do anything to a horse or anything like that, but to chop up a cow to make it into food. Now, of course, that's survival of the fittest, and they'll show you. I've never seen any plants in a cave drawing. Well, true. But in the same token, we're higher minds at this time. We don't draw on caves, we draw on paper. And we live in houses, we don't live in caves. Interesting enough. And I haven't seen it where it showed them eating the cow. I don't know. Maybe there is. There's been enough history to show that we've done that. I've done it in earlier parts of my life. I had no reservations in destroying a life. And that's a choice. Now, the fact of the matter is, life begets life. Death begets death, right? And so vibrational frequency is always attached to by the touching of it, the viewing of it, the seeing, the feeling, right? And so the very nature of death itself is a frequency because you're nothing but energy. And you've been here from the beginning. I mean, they say in science that energy's been here, although the atom, which is nothing but electricity, has been here for 13.5 billion years. And you are nothing but an atomic mass of cells, 50, 60 trillion cells. And every cell is made up of 7.5 billion atoms to the power of 10. Now, the atom itself doesn't put off a whole bunch of electricity. It's 1.4 kilohertz. But since you've got 7.5 billion to the power of 10 in every cell, that's a hell of a combination, baby. And in the book Biology of Belief, you can also see it on video, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief. We put off about 700 trillion volts of electricity every second. Every second, 700 trillion volts of electricity. It's mind boggling. That's more than the sun, baby. And for you are the sun, because a U is a lazy O. So 700 trillion volts of electricity interfacing within a reality that's made of nothing but atoms, which are nothing but electricity that are in a probable state of becoming. How do you change your future? You must change the way you're thinking. As a man or a woman thinks, so they become. As a man or a woman thinks, so they become. Man being gender sensitive. Human, human, the word hue is Coptic, Old Latin, stands for light or God. Man is being. You're a light being or a God being, whatever you feel comfortable in expressing yourself as. You're 700 trillion volts of electricity that's totally in control of your future if you want to be. But most people base their life off of circumstances. If they see something that feels good, they feel great. Oh, it feels so good. High vibration, baby. When you're feeling good, you're vibrating high. The vibration of the cells, your frequency is your feeling. How I feel is the vibration of my cells. Babel took that away from you because the Ten Commandments chopped your fucking head off, baby. Chopped your head off. You no longer trust your heart. And there's lots of things out there, especially most of the stuff that comes from the Catholic Church, that's designed to tell you that you're a piece of poopy, that you are the problem, that you need to listen, that you need to concede every goodness inside you because you ain't got no goodness, is what they tell you. You don't even know what you don't know. And it's true. I don't know what I don't know. I have no idea. Honestly, there's so much out there. I don't even know what I don't know. Isn't that amazing? I don't even know what I don't know. I have no clue about most things. Thankfully, in a lot of areas, I don't even want to go there, baby. But there's a lot of areas that I do want to go. But the main area I want to go is to be happy. So, how do I get happy? How do I get happy? It's a choice. It's a choice on how I want to see things. And sometimes it's a lot better to see things in my imagination than it is to see things out in the world. I can imagine my way into heaven, baby, and so can you. If it feels good, if it doesn't feel good, then I'm doing it wrong. Hmm. Well, anyway, I thought that might be a little bit of an inclusive idea. Where attention goes, energy flows. What you think about most is what comes. Only you, only you know what you think about. Only you. And if you find yourself on fire, meaning you ain't feeling good, stop, drop, and roll. What do I need to do? What do I need to change about me? And the only thing that needs to be changed is not on the outside world, it's right here. How am I thinking? What am I thinking about? Am I thinking about doing stuff of destructive nature to myself or to anybody else? Guess what? Everybody else outside of you is you. It's your perception. You've created it. You created, they are unwilling souls in some cases, or very willing to fulfill your expectations because you are the God of your own universe. Universe. It's your universe. It's your life. You can feel any way you want to feel. You can do anything you want to do, but it starts with you. To understand the truth that's within you and to understand that you have control. Stop basing your life off of outside and start working on the inside. Because remember, when you're pointing the finger, you've always got three fingers pointing right back at you. It starts with you and it will be the end all. You can't help anybody out there if you're not helping yourself. Anyway, it was a great talking to you. Remember, this is a global peace project. We're trying to bring a sense of peace over people because it all starts from within. It's right here, mate. You've got it. And remember, today is the day of your amazing good fortune. I got the three fingers pointing back at me, and I'm saying today is the day of your amazing good fortune. Today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. These are all points of interest that matter not. Because if it happened in the past, it may carry forward to the future, but my attention to it will guarantee its life. And if it's not good, get that attention off of it and start focusing on things that are good. Today is the day of your amazing good fortune. If this message did anything good for you, share it, please. Share it with your friends, family. Like, subscribe, and if you choose to, you want to give me a little backup financially, I would appreciate it. Today is the day, right? Money sign, Global Peace Project. This is Zeus. Have the best day ever.